Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Now, we are joined by 10th Man, Chocolate Saiyan, who's joining right in the middle of my intro. Arwin, Brian's Logic, Mitchell from Australia, Neil, Refracted Curvature, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. So welcome one and all.
Hello.
Evening.
Hello. Good
Hello.
afternoon.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon,
Good morning.
good evening, wherever you may be. Any evidence of a physical geometric sphere edge horizon, formerly known as the curve of the Earth?
That
No.
was 2020.
What happened in 2020?
Black Swan.
Black Swan.
Oh, dear.
Well, if the Earth was curving, you wouldn't be able to measure an elevation angle from its surface.
But they claim to.
Any evidence that you can acquire an elevation angle from a curved baseline?
Nah, even the ones who think we live on a sphere put it on a horizontal plane first and then do all their little mathematics afterwards.
Right. You just take the flat plane, then you take into account how it's all refracted around the sphere, 7/6R, and then you do your measurements on that flat plane and then realize it has to be a sphere.
I've seen a few comments like that say precisely that. If they can just get past the fact that there's a flat Earth angle being measured, we can show them how it only works on a sphere. But they just won't get past that, will they? Meaning me.
Yeah, man, just get over that flat plane already.
I should have screenshotted it for you, John, because you pretty much say that sarcastically, but people have literally been saying that almost verbatim what you say in sarcasm.
Well, it's the only response you can give, isn't it? I mean, if you're delusional, you're going to ignore the fact that's in front of you.
What did that one guy say to you, Nathan? You're stuck on this point. Said something to that effect.
Stuck on this elevation angle measurement point. Don't get hung up on the elevation angle measurement off a flat plane. Let's just do that and move on to the sphere bit we assume after we've measured the flat plane. Just don't get hung up on it. Don't get up on the fact that we need a flat plane to move forward in the first instance. Don't let that bog you down. What, our completely devastating win? Let's not let that bog us down.
Yeah,
That's the amazing thing.
The other comments are Nathan would never let the discussion progress past the elevation angle point.
It doesn't. That's because it doesn't progress beyond
point.
the elevation angle measurement. That's what proves a flat Earth, because you can't measure an elevation angle from a sphere surface. Has to be done from a plane, and then all the mathematics that go forward do it on a flat plane. They use the baseline with the GP on it. That's flat.
I mean, if you have a winning argument, why do you let the argument progress? It seems counterproductive if you've already won.
Well, they can't quite get over the
describe.
fact that they can't get around this argument, unlike several other arguments which can be lumbered with obfuscation. Well, this one doesn't have that open to them. The only thing they've attempted is to say, you ascribe a height, and it doesn't work. No, we don't ascribe a height. You do. We definitely don't, and neither does celestial navigation require one. But you ascribe a height, and it doesn't work. You have a curved surface, and it doesn't work. We just talk about the baseline used in celestial navigation. It's not something we're claiming should happen on a flat Earth. It's something that requires a flat Earth to function and is used to this day.
Yeah, this is the one that just crushes them. So, no need to go any further. Game over.
I think my favorite one is the angle measurement has nothing to do with the curved surface.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
It doesn't. has everything to do with moving around on the surface and navigating the surface, finding your position on the surface, but nothing to do with the curved surface. That's absolutely correct, because the surface isn't curved, but the surface you're navigating and measuring when you're performing celestial navigation is flat. That's how it functions. Can't not be. Can't get this on screen now if it wasn't.
But that's their concession.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, Brian.
How are things?
Hey, Brian.
Very well. My
Hey,
tweeter
everyone.
came. Happy days.
Very good. Very happy to hear that. Very happy. Because I know you're having very bad audio issues when everything is not perfect.
Well, anything not being perfect is very bad audio issues for me, Brian. It's terrible, devastating, heartbreaking. But now it's fixed. That's why the show started a little bit late. Or for us, not for the live stream.
Well, I'm still very happy to hear it.
No, I'm pleased you're pleased.
Sounds like you have something, Brian.
Well, I really want to know why MC Toon doesn't use his challenge that he tries to hold against us. You know the faulty challenge he has where no one's allowed to use refraction or anything else. Why doesn't he use that to prove his globe and get 3 Bitcoin?
Because he needs an elevation angle measurement off a flat plane in the first instance. That's why I've told him 62 times. I am not joking. 62 times I have told Toon directly that he requires an elevation angle measurement to take forward his challenge.
Well, he's here in Discord. Maybe let him answer the question.
Oh, is he really?
I'd love to hear from him.
Let's hear it.
I'm like the flat Earth.
Hey, Toon.
Hey, we are here. Craig and I are here to present the Top Left Awards. Mitchell asked us, and so that's why.
Right, you require a flat Earth to get an elevation angle for your challenge, Toon.
All right.
I told you 64
we're here
times.
at Mitchell's request.
Yeah. Sorry, does the 64 times I've now told you require a flat Earth elevation angle measurement not count for anything?
Are you leaving FTFE muted because Mitchell asked us to be here?
Sorry, 65 times I've told you that you require a flat Earth for your challenge.
Mitchell asked us to be here.
I heard you the first time,
Mitchell's
Toon.
request.
Toon, I heard you.
Yeah.
I heard you. I'm not deaf.
Mitchell asked us to be here. So we're here to present the Top Left Awards.
I heard.
Prestigious award.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard.
It's the noble one.
It is well earned.
Sorry,
Absolutely.
Are you more interested in that than talking about an elevation angle
We just are here to congratulate you on all of your hard work.
We've got more than one of the top 10 here, don't we, Toon?
We've got maybe 5 of them. I don't know.
Do you
guys ready to hear
you don't want to discuss your challenge that required a flat Earth then?
You sound like two babbling fools. You all want to calm down and actually make a coherent sentence, clowns.
We're here at Mitchell's request. I don't see Mitchell here, but maybe one of you can accept his award in absentia.
He is here on the Google Plus panel, dumbass.
Oh, good. Okay, well, how do we know that? We don't see the Google Plus panel.
Fascinating. So,
if you watch the YouTube
about that flat Earth angle you need.
All right. So in 14th place,
sorry, do you not want to discuss the flat Earth elevation angle I've discussed with you on multiple occasions?
Quantum Eraser, well done. I was hoping for higher. Your video is one of my favorites.
Hello.
Yes.
Toon.
And then we've got in 11th place.
You don't host the show. I'm going to have to mute you. What are you doing taking over the show? What are you doing?
Well, we were asked here to do this. So in 11th place is Brian's Logic with the Scoy Miles.
Sorry, what are you both doing coming here thinking that you're going to host some award show? Do you want to discuss flat Earth and the elevation angle requirement or not? That's your choice. That's what we're here to discuss.
He can't not mute us. He loves your mute button. Oh, he loves it so much. You're precious.
Sorry, 66 times. Mucktoon, who is currently on the panel discussing mute buttons, requires a flat Earth elevation angle measurement for his challenge. I have now told him this 66 times.
That's all you've got. That's all you've got is muting.
Toon, do you want to get muted?
Stupid fucking moron. Do you understand? Sorry, what's going on? You're not running the show. I'm asking you about the flat Earth elevation angle measurement that you needed. Is that all you can do? Try and turn the show into chaos?
Why are you talking?
Why are you trying to turn the show into chaos by playing sound bites of me on my own show? What's going on, Toon? Is this the best you've got when I point out for the 67th time that you require a flat Earth angle? All you can do is play sound bites?
Let him.
So I have muted.
Nathan,
That's me muting you. Sorry, all Toon's doing is playing sound bites of me. He's not participating. He's not responding to the 68th rendition of the fact he requires an elevation angle measurement from a flat plane for his challenge. Instead, he's just playing sound bites. Pathetic.
I'm going to mute.
Just playing sound bites. That's absolutely pathetic. Is that all you got? Playing sound bites, that's all you got?
Your fucking microphone.
See, let's just kick him out.
Yeah, kick them both out.
We've got a sextant subject matter expert in Fight the Flat Earth.
Right,
and he
Fight the Flat
refuses
Earth.
To correct us?
So in 11th place was Brian's logic. That was really impressive.
We would like to address the elevation angle argument.
To the top 10, right? The top 10 in 8th place. Nathan, you'll be glad to hear this. Well done, Nathan. You were.
Craig, do you not want to address the elevation angle argument?
They have you muted on their show, Nathan. They're running a separate show.
I see.
It's an interesting hypothesis, Nathan.
Put us on mute on their show and decided that audio chaos is all they're going to bring to this show. Oh, well, they're both server muted and deafened then. So they're not going to answer any questions. They're just going to play their own show while we're on mute and cause audio chaos for this show. Total cowards. Let's just have a summary of what's actually occurred. Toon has had 67 renditions of the fact he requires a flat Earth elevation angle measurement in order to perform his challenge. And instead of addressing that fact that I have laid to him personally here today, verbally, he's playing sound bites and games and running an award show rather than debating. What a pathetic loser.
This is what this argument has done to them.
That's what I was about to say, Neil. It seems like their mind has broken. Or they just will not.
They're following in the footsteps of Sean Hawkins, obviously.
I mean, but that's great. That's telling.
Sorry, is that supposed to be a great proof, see? Was that Toon annihilating me with his challenge, proving a globe, coming in and doing an award show whilst running a separate show? Is that the best you can do, rather than address the fact you need a flat Earth to do that challenge, Toon? That the best you got? So anybody who follows Toon and says, why aren't you doing Toon's challenge? Well, why isn't Toon rubbing it in our face how wonderful it is? Why is it that he's distracting away talking about award ceremonies rather than rubbing in my face how wonderful his challenge is? Well, I'll tell you why. Because he's had 67 renditions of the same exact rebuttal, and on the first attempt verbally to give it him here, he started talking through me immediately. Because he's absolutely terrified. He knows he needs a flat Earth, and he has no rebuttal. So what's he got? An award ceremony, rather than a rebuttal to the flat plane he absolutely requires to measure an elevation angle. Brisbane plane, right, Toon? Yeah? Yeah, you're all talking about it at the moment, my friend. The flat plane that you need. Yeah? Doing an award show is not a rebuttal. It's an annihilation. It's a demonstration to your audience just how crap your little proofsy is.
And the other clown who calls himself Fight the Flat Earth, like, this is what you got as well as this guy. This is all y'all got.
The self-proclaimed subject matter expert wants to come in here and do an awards show instead of correcting us on how elevation angles are measured.
Yeah, Fundies, so you're not disappointed in Toon not correcting me on the fact. I think it was 5 times he had it verbally laid down to him while he was here. The fact he requires a flat Earth to do his challenge. You'd have thought he'd addressed that. I hope you are all very disappointed. You should be. It's very disappointing. Me pointing out with absolute disdain that he requires a flat plane, and all he can do for 67 repeats of it is run an award ceremony? What a joke!
Yeah, I mean, between the two of them now, one of them has a challenge, the other one claims to be a subject matter expert. They spent years in this topic at this stage. surely they should be able to show with celestial navigation that the Earth is a globe, if it really is. It should be easy. I mean, if it requires a globe, as they claim, then they should be able to prove it with their challenge. I mean, they have Craig, who's a subject matter expert, according to him, and Toon with his challenge. There's 3 Bitcoin in it. They could go halves on the Bitcoin. There you go. Take on
Brian, no, the thing is this. They know they can't, because to do anything, it requires a flat plane. So they come in with all of this nonsense.
Yeah, but Neil, you're missing the point. We should just continually hound them to use their challenge to prove their globe. Because they keep on bringing their challenge to every flat earth video they can. There's no end of people telling me about this challenge for weeks, even though we destroyed it ages ago. No end of people telling me about it. Why don't you do McToon's challenge? But as soon as I put it back to McToon, why don't you use that to prove our globe? Suddenly I stopped having people come to me with it. They need to be hounded with this challenge of theirs.
No, I agree.
They need to be hounded, and this is for the whole audience out there. Hound them. Right? If it's a globe, then your challenge should prove it. You do your challenge and you prove that it's a globe and get 3 Bitcoin off David Weiss.
Shout out for the super chat, Whiskey Shaman. Really appreciate the support. Thank you very much indeed.
That is not the opinion of Nathan Oakley or Nathan Oakley Associates.
What opinion of what?
What Brian said could be misconstrued to say that he was sending his minions to harass someone.
He is. He does. He does send people. There's, this is what they do. They send out people to harass us. That's what they do.
Right. But he's had no takers. His 6 weeks of challenge time has been fulfilled by nobody. He's explicitly told me in my comments that he's not had a single person contact him about this challenge. Yeah. Check out my Bitcoin playlist for people who took up Dave's challenge. You know what I mean? So, yeah, normally a successful challenge would have somebody wanting to participate with you in it. But they don't. And what have you got when you come here proactively to shill for your challenge that I'm asking you directly about 5 times verbally? Oh, you've got an award ceremony you want to run on someone else's show? When you've got your own little mute button to close down this show and just have your chaos be broadcast through mine? What a pot calling the kettle black, right? So they're running their own show with our show on mute. So they can just purely cause chaos here. Oh, how wonderful. What a nice little tactic you've got there, boys. Almost as good as a rebuttal to the fact you need an elevation angle measurement for your little challenge there, Toon. Almost as good, eh? I bet your fans are so proud of you coming here, giving it to us, laying it down with your challenge, showing us how wrong and stupid we are and how it desperately needs a curved surface for an angle measurement. Oh, no, that won't work, will it? No, we've told you 67 times, haven't I, Toon? I wonder if he'll get to 100 like cats with gas pressure. I wonder. Because so far, head in the sand is all he's got.
Sorry, you ever notice how we don't do anything like that? We just put out our evidence, our proof, and that's it. They don't have any, so they have to come in and play little children games.
Well, there might be people that on the flat earth side that do it, like the people that are listening may go to them and say things just like they're parroting what NASA and tells them to say, so they're parrots for another narrative. We're not trying to create another narrative, Neil. That's the difference.
Well, the main difference is they're proactively wanting to interact with us. That's the difference, right? Leaving their little comments with their little challenge, proactively shilling for Toon. Right? Well, I don't know about you guys, but I have no desire to interact with them. I'm not over on their channels watching their videos. I've got no interest in you lads. But you're very interested in me now, aren't you? I bet you're regular viewers. I bet you're all subscribed. Yeah, the interest's coming my way, isn't it, lads? I'm flattered.
Yeah, I mean... MC Toon's challenge had a claim of you must use flat earth geometry in it. This, like whatever that is, you're not allowed to use any globe geometry. You have to use flat earth geometry. So why doesn't MC Toon go off with Craig and do their challenge? Now, you're not allowed to use tangent planes unless you really want it. You can if you really want it. And prove your globe. You know, why can't you just
tangent?
walk and get the Bitcoin?
What
and
tangent
prove
would
your
that
globe?
be? Because Craig came here last time he was here and specifically mentioned a tangent, and I asked him what tangent. Obviously, rumpusing descended on the show from that point forward, didn't it, Craig? What tangent would that be? Would that be the one we debunked in 2020 that they can use if they want to? I mean, I wouldn't be so kind, given that we've debunked it.
If they're going to use a tangent plane, it means they're using a flat plane.
Was that the day with the emerging force? That was the only time he came on, correct?
Yeah, he also begged the question of a tangent, recently debunked when he came on. My point, though, is Brian suggesting that he would allow them to use a plane. That's a flat plane, like the ground that you're actually measuring an angle from and putting the GP on. But he's allowing them to do that with the use of a word tangent. Well, where do they get that tangent from in globe Earth mathematics, Brian?
The tangent? Well,
yeah, the measurable physical tangent point horizon, formerly known as Earth curve.
Yeah, that was a geometric horizon.
And we don't have that anymore. So what tangent will they be utilising for this plane? If we don't have a tangent, there's no measurable tangent point. Debunk 2020. It's refracted, you say, so not a straight line then. That's what a tangent is. Yeah, you don't have one of those fundies on the sphere side. So all you're left with is the plane. Yeah, that's our argument though, isn't it? While you fight for a tangent debunked in 2020, plane to get the angle from. That's just a plane, isn't it?
So Brian's saying he'll give them the plane? He'll give them the flat Earth?
Yeah, he'll give them the plane.
Hang on. Let me just give a bit of clarity. They can use a tangent plane if they want, but when they go using a tangent plane, they're admitting that they weren't using the spherical surface of their globe because they can't. So I don't mind them using a tangent plane because that debunks their claims immediately.
Exactly. Shout out to Whiskey Shaman again. He says, as a metal fan, I am delighted with the brutality of the elevation angle argument. Yeah, me too. It's simple. It's very basic. It's not that complicated once you wrap your head around it. 100 people watching, more than 100 people watching. Thank you very much to everyone who shared the show. Obviously, that's the only reason we've got over 100 people watching, because some of you shared. If you've just arrived, thank you very much for joining us. Please share the show. Really appreciate you being here. A very warm welcome. Also, shout out to Godzilla37. That was their best showing? ? They should have just been quiet and let us think they're fools instead of opening their mouths and proving it. I absolutely agree, Godzilla37. That would have been very telling to anybody who was hoping in the back of their mind that Toon had got something really good with his challenge. Now, obviously, anybody who's thinking that hasn't been here or stuck their head in the sand the same as Toon has in regards to the constant rebuttals of the same point, which is you need a flat Earth to get an angle. You can't start this process unless you've got a flat Earth beneath your feet, because you won't be getting an angle if you haven't. That's the same exact rebuttal he's had 67 times. But what do you want to do? You know, come in and do an award show, I suppose, rather than smashing us with how wrong we are about that flat Earth angle he needs. Yeah, they ain't going to be doing that because it's a fact. Celestial navigation requires a flat plane. Thank you very much for the super chat, Godzilla37.
Right, Virus is in chat claiming the debate is over. For once, he's right.
Yeah, you're right. Flat Earth elevation angle measurements prove we're on a flat plane.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. It's not a debate at this point. Both sides have acknowledged using a flat plane to get their angle measurements, with the Earth being the baseline of that angle.
Right, and we can back reference all of the previous times that it's been done without us noticing the fact that the process for the sphere starts with a flat plane. For example, Red's rhetoric, when he's getting distance to the moon by way of an insertion of R after taking a flat Earth elevation angle measurement. So, Sticks and Shadows? Yeah, that's using a flat Earth for 500 straight miles along a baseline, flat Earth, to get that angle. So all of these previous examples and prior examples where angles were used to claim that there's a sphere beneath your feet, they were measuring a flat plane. And that's what we'll be highlighting going forward, because the argument is absolutely over. Your sphere requires a flat Earth.
And it's terrifying to address. We're at the point now that we've got our arguments so concise that it's one sentence. You need a flat Earth horizontal plane to measure an elevation angle. And their best rebuttal Is to come in and do an award show. It's very telling.
No, their best rebuttal is to actually say the same thing and put themselves on a horizontal plane in order to get these elevation angles, and then put themselves under with a dingleberry sphere underneath it, right? So,
Right, I've got
like John said, there's no debate.
Got your parallel light rays up, Brian.
There's no rush on it, Nathan. I just wanted to ask everyone a question. Kent already knows about this question. So, with parallel light rays from their sun, their heliocentric sun, and all the rest of it, where is the GP? How can you have a GP if you have parallel light rays? It means that the object that's producing these parallel light rays is so big that the light is coming to the surface of their globe parallel. So that means anywhere that's lit by this heliocentric sun is the GP. So they don't have a hotspot, they don't have anything like that, because everywhere is the GP. Everywhere that's lit up by the sun is the GP. So any angle towards daylight is the GP, basically.
Quick shout out to Whiskey Shaman again. He says, shout out Sky Free on YouTube for demonstrating what the horizon actually, quote unquote, is. Thank you very much for the support. Really appreciate it. And shout out to Sky Free. Subscribe today, I guess. Was there anything more, Brian?
Can I read something out? Oh.
Yeah.
Just to accent the fact that this is not a debate. So, reading now, in simplified terms, when we take a sextant altitude of the sun, we're creating a right angle triangle between it, the Earth's surface at the GP, and ourselves. Grade school geometry tells us that the two angles in a right angle triangle must equal 90. Now, you let out a short over the weekend, I think it was. Basically, in the beginning of the short, you have the 90-degree angle on top of the ball, and you were basically saying if you were along this curved surface, you don't have a 90 to that. And, in the context of what I just read, you're exactly right. It's not a debate. What you're saying is corroborated with what's actually done. So why are we even arguing with these people?
Well, we're not. They're telling us how flat they need it to be. Or running an award show. I mean, that's almost as good.
I mean, I wonder if you're a globe believer, right? And you heard, Mattoon and Fight the Tight Shirt is here, right? Maybe you were thinking you were going to hear like a good debate and they were going to get all up in us about how they, prove a sphere. Are you proud of what just happened as a globe believer? Because that was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
But Chocolate, see, they have no choice. You have to understand that. They have no choice. They can't do a thing.
So concede and go do something productive with your life. Instead of continuing to tell us how you need a horizontal plane on top of a dingleberry Earth to measure an elevation angle. Are you kidding? Who do they think they're fooling anymore at this point? Just themselves.
I think that's where this spans from. I think Neil's right. Half right. They've got to do something, and they can't do anything. So what's something? Well, running an award show on your competitor's show. Why? Well, why not? Just tell them how stupid they are. Just revert to 2014, 2015 standard ad hom when you haven't got a rebuttal. What they came in with was with logical fallacy. That's all they had, to ad hom. So we've got an award show that categorises you all as idiots. Now listen to us categorise you as idiots. That's an ad hom fallacy. I asked him how he can get around the elevation angle measurement off a curved baseline, and he can't. So he's got an ad hom fallacy as a rebuttal. That's what he's actually got. Now that's laid down black and white as clear as day in terms of what they did. That's a fact. They didn't refute what we have stated to them, not dozens, but 67 times. I'm not even joking. So that's what you've got. Okay, a fallacy. That's your rebuttal. Fair enough.
Well, if you notice, they have been going back to old arguments, and now they're stuck at the very beginning. Just call them idiots. They're dumb flat earthers. So that's where they're at now. But now they got nowhere else to go after this.
Yeah, but they're compelled to do it, aren't they? That's my point, right? They want to come in and tell us we're idiots. Why? Because they need to. They've got the pain and they need the painkiller. And their painkiller is telling us how stupid we are. Not that we can get around the argument, but we don't need to think about that if we just point out how stupid they are. On their own show, that'll be showing them. If I tell them how stupid they are on their own show. No, you've got an audience. You've actually got, presumably, some intelligent audience members that will watch that, Craig and Toon, and go, what just happened? No, I thought you were going to smash them into the middle of next week and tell them how this needs a sphere. What just happened? That's what some of your audience who have a little bit more discernment will do. That's what I would do if I was watching you and expecting you to smash me into the middle of next week with your stunning globe rebuttal to the flat Earth elevation angle measurement you require for your challenge. 68. Because you're watching, aren't you, Toon?
I would say that most of his audience is looking for confirmation bias. So the fact that he comes in and tries to poison the well by using ad homs against us is just, they're going to applaud him for it.
No.
Truth be known.
Yeah, but Nathan stood his ground and kept pushing a point, and they had no answer, just ad hom.
Yeah, but I find it funny that we know that they're masochists, and it's a week or so after the academy, so they just came here to get slapped.
Well,
I don't think it is. I know that's a pun, but it's not masochism. Far from it. It's sadism. They want to inflict pain upon us by telling us we're stupid. They want to make us endure some sort of mental anguish because they're so high and mighty in telling us how stupid and lowly we are. That's what they need. That will relieve their pain temporarily when they haven't got a rebuttal.
So that's their painkiller?
Yeah, because they have the maturity of 11-year-olds. So thinking, oh, we're going to call them stupid, ha ha ha, and make fun of them and give them awards that don't exist. That's going to get them. Just sad.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was
sad day to be a Glober.
I was smiling the whole time. It's so telling. It's like victory. Go ahead. Keep talking nonsense. You sound like fools.
Chocolate. They came here to give us a plain award.
Yeah, it was pretty elementary.
They should give it to themselves. Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
You've got to ask yourself, who are they trying to impress with that, in all sincerity? An ad hom to put us down? I mean, who is that going to impress? People want a rebuttal to the argument that's on the table, the one that's attracted you here. The reason you're on the show is because of your frustration with this argument. You're making challenges about this claim we have made, right? So it's obviously prevalent in the forefront of your mind, shall we say. That is why you are here. And that is what is expected of you by your audience. You come here and you tell us what's what and how it's spherical. Not an award show about how stupid we are, because everyone on the panel's smiling here when you do that. And I post 5 repetitions of the, what was it up until then, 62 renditions of the same exact argument that you'd had, Toon. Yeah, people are expecting you to deal with that as their representative of the sphere in the anti-flat Earth realm. That expectation has not been fulfilled.
What they did was they came in, they got into the show, and then they used as many clips from other shows of you, Nathan, to drown out what you were actually asking them and what anyone else asked them from the panel, because they don't want their audience hearing it. If their audience hears me, let's just say, asking them to prove their globe and get the 3 Bitcoin with their challenge, then their audience members might go, yeah, let's do that. But they know they're not going to do that because they know they can't. But their audience members, most of them are very naive people, and they believe that MC Toon and Fight the Flat Earth are actual subject matter experts. So
can I ask?
Sorry, 1 second. Just 1 second, Ken. So they might ask them to actually go and do that, or expect them to do that. Or they'll hear Nathan, 1 second, 1 moment, or they'll hear Nathan asking Toon about the elevation angle. So what they did is they stopped Nathan and anyone else coming from this side to go into their audience. Now 10 to finish.
No, I was going to add to your point. Sorry for interrupting. Mitchell, you able to talk?
I'm righty, mate.
Well, before you do, shout out to Whiskey Shaman who says Brian is ace. Thank you very much for the super chat. Go ahead, 10th and Mitch.
Thank you.
Yeah, if Brian's ace, I'm the joker. Mitchell, they said you asked them to come. Did you ask them to come to do an award show?
McToon said, why has no one attempted my challenge? And I said, maybe you should come and ask us on Monday. And what happens? Is he seeking validation? Why no one's doing his challenge?
So let me get it right, live. Sorry, both him and Craig alluded to the idea that they were here under invitation to run an award show, when in fact what was actually transpiring was he had asked why we aren't proactively contacting him about his total failure of a challenge that nobody's interested in, proactively chasing you up on that challenge he's laid out that you've not expressed any interest to him in. He's contacting you about it, and you've said, why don't you come and present it to us? And within 1 second of me saying you need an elevation angle, he started talking through me. Didn't you, Toon? You heard that question and immediately knew what needed to be done. Talk to him immediately. Yeah, maybe tell us that an award ceremony was the reason you were here under invitation, Craig. Yeah, you were here under invitation to run your awards or answer questions about the elevation angle measurement that you need, the flat plane that you require. For Toon's challenge he keeps barking on about proactively to nobody who cares.
What he tried to do at first was get you to have a back and forth about the awards show. When that didn't work and you kept asking the question, he just muted everything and ran the awards show. You could tell by when you listen back, you'll hear where they're not actually addressing anything that you say, or it's like we're not even in the room with them because we're not. Everybody from this side is on mute.
And if he wasn't allowed to address the award ceremony, so he was just going to create chaos so that Nathan had no choice to mute him, and that's what they want.
Yeah, they've got this show on mute, so as they talk amongst themselves with this show on mute, obviously we can't interact with them or tell them to be reasonable or have a back and forth discussion. We've basically got just their show over the top of our show with zero control over it. And when I go, right, well, I've got no choice, you're not responding to me, I've given you 5 renditions of the question and you're just ignoring it and telling me how you're going to run an award show, they're not actually listening to that. They purely want to cause chaos. And then when I do have to mute them so I can retain control of my own show, only reasonable, they say, oh, you're muting me. Oh, he loves his mute button. Quick, I've got all these sound bites to distract from the fact he's being asked 67 times about an elevation angle measurement from a flat earth he needs. Yeah, the sound bites would be a much better substitute for all those discerning audience members you have who listened. But I'm sure they didn't get to hear me ask that, right? Maybe if you were watching on his stream, I'm sure my question didn't get through to the audience because he immediately talked through it, didn't he? Immediately, as soon as he heard the question.
I even tried to get it back on track and say just stick to the arguments. You gave them enough room to get it all out, and they still just continue to, elementary ad homs and sound bites.
Well, the 2 staunch defenders of the globe had a wonderful opportunity to defend the globe, and they decided they can't defend the globe, so they said, why don't we run an award show?
Yeah, we would have.
This is messing with my melon. What? I go away for a couple of days and it all kicks off. When was this award ceremony?
It was supposed to be today, Adam.
So what's happening, Adam?
I've got a feeling that if... I just want to check, because I think it will kick off. If Sleeping Warrior doesn't win an award, he will kick off, I reckon. Even if they're Muppet Awards, he goes for them. So,
well, I just want to say, Adam, you were nominated, so rest assured, you're okay.
But in the same way, Adam, when something like you and Rufy happens, and you're telling me in behind the scenes, if you will, this back and forth. No, not even behind the scenes. You've talked about it on the show. It to me represents a certain percentage of people in their community who have the same sentiment, that are of the same stress level, that are proactively chasing you down to tell you how wrong you are and how stupid you are. And you're like, I'm indifferent to this, Ruhi. I know I'm right. but you're constantly badgering me to tell me how wrong I am when I already know I'm right and you've got nothing to come back with other than to tell me how flat it is or use tangents that are debunked or whatever it is you're doing. Well, that sentiment spreads throughout their community. Craig and Toon today are just an example of that. They represent the feelings of our opponents. They're very keen to tell us how stupid we are at the moment. They need that pain relief, proactively seeking it from us. As I said earlier, we're not out there chasing them down, right? It's them chasing us proactively, sharing their pain with us.
That's a great example. I shared that Roof bit with you where he's 10th man cites Cruising World, right? I got 2 pictures. I got a citation from Cruising World stating right angles, as we all know, and then he sent me another picture that's got Ruif written on it, which is something he's drawn on his computer. The one from Cruising World says wrong, and the one that Ruif is drawn right. So I said to him, "So your argument is with Cruising World then?" And this sums it up, this response. "My argument is with 10th, citing an incorrect source. If he understood celestial navigation, he would know that it's incorrect. He clearly doesn't understand navigation. None of you do." And that's all they've got. Just add on, not why you're wrong. Here's why
the source is wrong. I will rewrite your source in my own hand and tell you how that is correct. No. As we keep telling you, fundy idiots, this is not our claim. It's us pointing out how celestial navigation works. So when you tell us, no, you don't need 90 degrees below the GP with a flat baseline between you and whatever you're measuring angle to, no, it can be a curved Earth. Well, no, you're just wrong. That's not what celestial navigation details. Not how it works, not how it's performed, not how it functions, not how it gives you your fix, not what's done. Now, you don't have to like it. Celestial navigation just requires we live on a flat plane, whether you like it or not.
And it's the quality of their rebuttal. See, 10 citing all these navigation things. And what do they come back with to prove their point? A home-drawn picture. You know, something he's done, got his crayons out, bit of colouring, drawn a circle, drawn a tangent to it and said, look, there's the proof. It's done on a ball. And he's not...
Pathetic.
But it's not worthy of a response, is it? If you're trying to have a discussion about celestial navigation and we're pulling at all the navigation or all of the actual things that are used for people to navigate via the stars, and their response is a home-drawn picture that just reaffirms their belief, doesn't demonstrate anything, just, look, I've drawn a picture of a ball Earth, so it must be true because I've put angles on it, so my picture's correct. But it really is the level that they've had to descend to, which is just to stick their fingers in their ears and go, no. There's no real rebuttal. It's just denial of, in this case, how celestial navigation is done, to say that the textbooks are wrong now.
Yeah, so that would be at the basis of a concise and coherent argument, Adam, as opposed to, what, coming here and telling us that we're stupid? And putting it in a list? What, you mean like a concise argument about how Earth's flat and how it's required to be in order to measure elevation angles? You know, I put that to Toon only minutes ago. I didn't really get any rebuttal from him, though. Just got him rumpusing us on mute so he could hijack the show. Well, he told me how unreasonable it was to put him on mute to control a show that I'm hosting. Yeah, whatever, guys. You host your show on your show. Coming here is not going to be deceiving my audience that you actually had anything to offer in regards to the argument that Adam's concisely laid out.
Let me respond to Adam for a minute. The Cruising World is a publication. They have contributing authors and all kinds of people that they have back for more articles if the publication sells well. And if you finish that article, it tells you who it is. And he has written so many articles, and he's a navigation expert. So it's Cruising World going to experts, then they print what the expert says. So they're in trouble because you've got that from all the sources that I've shown, from Harold Jacoby to Cruising World to Yachting Magazine to their own celestial manuals, including the Sextant manuals. So it's not just one incident.
You know what that does show me, though?
It's all the references that you've provided over this past year, and not one of them is in contradiction. With which they all support each other. They all cite the same method. They all refer to the use of the right angle for the surface that we're taking the angle from to be the surface we're travelling across. That's all your reference and citation demonstrate that. What they're trying to do is bring to the table a home-drawn picture which disproves it. But this is the real world, and if they're going to disprove celestial navigation, they need to use all of the citations that you've provided to make their point. This is not our point. This is celestial navigation's point they're attacking. As much as they want to call us retards and make that the point, they're trying to say that celestial navigation doesn't work the way in which every bit of citation refers to it, how it works. Their argument isn't with us. They're just trying to convince themselves, I think, realistically, that there is the possibility, if you believe Ruhif's pictures, it could still be a ball. But ignore celestial navigation.
You know when you said before, Riley likes to take these nonsense awards, right? It's called the top left. It's called the top left award. I took a screenshot of my screen before, right? And you can see that I'm now in the position of top left. So what we can do in this like award ceremony that we've all been told about recently is like, because, oh, it's the wrong color. Let me change the color quickly. Oh, I can't do this on the fly because I'm not quick enough. But
I knew this would trigger you though. I knew it'd trigger you.
Yeah, no matter how much you wanted, Anthony, you didn't win.
No, I'm top left at 1. It was originally refracted curvature.
You're not.
But I was down here in the bottom corner, so I've put me up there and I've moved him down there to make it work. So I'm at top left, right? Nathan's in the middle left, so he's in number 4, isn't he? We've got 5 others that are down here. We've got refracted, you're bottom right, unfortunately, John. So you're number 9th, right? Meekin is number 2, so you're top middle. So that makes you 2nd. Nathan's in 4th. Neil Constantino, he comes in at 7th, right? And we're left with Elijah in 6th. And then we've got Nathan Oakley presenting and in 3rd. So I'm quite happy to accept top left because I quite like being in the top left. It works perfectly on the screen.
I'm happy to be 10th.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, nor do I care.
Neither do I.
Right.
Can I ask
what
a
is
question?
this nonsense? Who cares?
I'll tell you what it is, Nate. It's, as I called it, I knew that, like the dumb Person of the Year awards, Tony had to go and win it. Once they started running it, it was necessary for him to win that, and that's why I thought if there's an award out, he's going to want one. He's going to work for it.
Okay, that's fascinating. Thank you for filling me in. Meanwhile, Earth is required to be flat in order to perform celestial navigation. Any claim that utilises the process of celestial navigation will require a flat Earth elevation angle measurement in the first instance. So while these awards are fascinating, and Tony wants one, that's lovely, I don't care in the slightest. It's just an ad hominem attack for the argument that we currently have on the table.
You're just hold on. I agree with Brian. Why are they not coming and win Bitcoin? They should be coming here and win Bitcoin.
Hang on a sec. Nathan's only bitter because he only came top middle, right? Or no, middle left, and that was 4th. If you'd have won it like me, Nathan, you'd have been pleased for it.
No, I don't care.
What's much better? What's a much better question? Yeah. Thank you, Nathan. Nobody answered my question earlier. With parallel sun rays or light rays from any of their stars in their heliocentric model, where is the GP? How can you have a GP if you've got parallel light rays? Do you understand? Like, do you understand what that means?
The GP would be like half the Earth.
Yeah, everywhere that's lit up by the sun or a star, like everywhere, would be the GP. Everywhere that's not in darkness.
What Brian is, right, is a savage dog that's chained up, ready for anybody who manages to get past the begging the question stage. So, to argue this, Brian must have the possibility of somebody sneaking past a flat Earth angle measurement to do this, right, Brian?
Yeah.
This is already after the taking a flat Earth elevation angle measurement and then juxtaposing that with the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth that violates the very angle you took. So to get to this stage, like I say, Brian's just a rabid dog that's been chained up behind the rest of the dogs' kennels, and he's just waiting for somebody to escape round the back of the building so he can gnaw their legs off.
Brian put something in the chat earlier, and respect, kudos to it. I thought it was brilliant. He's took that parallel rays, stuck it into the heliocentric model, and pointed out that you would have different rates of divergence at different times of the year because of the ecliptic path. Brilliant, Brian.
Yeah, well, with their like, I mean, if they're saying with their sun claim, they say it's not exactly parallel, there's slight divergence, but that divergence would change between the northern and southern summer in the heliocentric model, because the northern summer the globe Earth is further from the sun, and the southern summer is closer. But I mean, the best question is, where is their GP? You can't have a GP on a globe if you have parallel light rays. You can't have a GP.
It's another proof of the ball that isn't there, Brian, isn't it? That you demonstrated. That's the nice.
Yeah.
Before we move on too far away from it, I do want to point out one thing. When Sleeping Warrior showed that list of people that were getting the award for the most dumb flat earther, did you notice it was everyone on Nathan's show?
Yeah, that was because I took the screenshot from this hangout that we're in.
Yeah, I think you've missed the sarcasm from Anthony. He's just taken their concept and, used it to his jokey effect, I assume.
No, my bad.
That's why he got the top left award.
Yeah. And that's also why you got the bottom right, John. You were in the way.
I love it. How lowbrow my panel can be when Sleeping Warrior gets here. Yeah, that's it. Buy into their nonsense. Well done.
Can I be any lower brow than the nonsense that was just presented to us?
Exactly.
I think it's just adapt and apply, isn't it?
They sounded like 11-year-old schoolgirls in the schoolyard.
Could I just take part our globe again, just for a moment?
Yes, please.
It won't take long.
For sure, you rabid dog, you.
Yeah. See the way they use a tangent plane here. I hope you all can see it. There's a tangent plane here. And they take the elevation angle, right? And then they have the zenith angle after that. Then they move the whole lot down to the center of their globe. And then the angle coming out from here, which should be this matching this angle here, that becomes the GP, right? But then they put a circle around it, right? But what's the radius of that circle? And will it match the arc that goes above it? No. Everywhere. Everywhere they turn, I'm there with something that points out that what they're trying to do is absolute nonsense.
Love it, Brian. You're killing it, man. Hey, that tangent plane. That tangent plane is that acquirable with something like a black swan image?
Slow birth claim of a tangent was debunked in 2020.
Nathan, I've posted some 3 images in Master B. Could you present, if you could? First one's a black swan.
Your black swan picture makes your tangent plane your surface, which is exactly how celestial navigation's done.
Okay, I've got your first image with platform habitat and platform hill house, essentially the original black swan. Go ahead.
That's the first black swan. What if, go to the next slide, please, Nathan, the second slide with the sun. Okay. What if someone wanted to take an elevation angle with a sextant from that position where the MLSB 69 videoed these? Go to the third slide, Nathan.
Oh, it was rhetorical.
Can they measure an...
Go ahead.
Can they measure an elevation angle to that horizon? Is that the horizon that they... Yeah, well, obviously it's got to be the visible horizon, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is this what you can do, Globe Believers? You can measure an elevation angle with the black swan here?
Yes, you can. You point the sextant mirror and the horizon mirror, at the horizon. That's what it's for. That's its purpose.
Exactly depicted in the image. We have no problem with this.
Yeah, they've told us how this line here that you've got is bent for two straight years. And it's bent, meaning that this point that they're pointing it at isn't a tangent. Because that would mean it was straight, and they've told us how refracted it is literally for 2 years. So they don't have a straight line to the horizon in the first instance. It's all refracted in their fantasy of a sphere world. And secondly, you're measuring a baseline. That's what this is establishing with the horizon mirror, a flat, straight baseline. To get an angle, that's what an angle is, 2 straight lines. One is established with the horizon in a sextant.
Oh, that's a refracted horizon, they tell us? Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? So a curved baseline, we keep asking, is there any evidence, can you acquire an elevation angle with a curved baseline? Like they say in this image here, it's meant to be a curved baseline. We don't have a problem. We can just measure that straight baseline with the elevation angle right there. We don't have a problem with this.
It's not that we don't have a problem with it. It's just that's how it's done. It's kind of matter of fact. I don't know how John phrased it. Refracted curvature phrased it the other day. It's kind of not agree, disagree. This isn't debatable. It's hard to phrase it in such a way to make it clear to the audience. This isn't agree, disagree situation anymore. With this particular claim, if you want to call it from a flat Earth perspective, what we're actually saying is Earth is measured flat. Not we claim it's measured flat. It is measured flat. It is navigated flat. It is built upon flat. Those are facts. Now, up until now, they had a claim of a tangent, but we debunked that. Further to that, they've told us how bent every line is always. So they don't have any straight lines to get angles, ever. If they're looking at something ever, according to Craig, if you put your hand in front of your face, it's not really where you see it because of terrestrial refraction. So you've never got a straight line to your hand in front of your face, let alone a horizon that needs to acquire a baseline that's flat with. Yeah, you can't do any of that on a sphere. It's just a fact. And drawing out an imaginary line out to space isn't using your sphere Earth, it's using a flat baseline. And drawing a GP to it will involve having 90 degrees below it, exactly as depicted in this image. 90 degrees below on a flat plane is the only way to perform this. It's not agree, disagree. And when they do disagree, they're disagreeing with the process of celestial navigation. Not a flat Earth claim we are making, just how it's done. So if you want to, Roofy, get in touch with all of the people who've published how to do this with the details of 90 degrees below the GP and a flat baseline between you and what you're measuring in the sky, you can go ahead and disagree with them. But it won't change that that is factually how it's done. You just need a flat plane to do it, don't you? So keep up the interest in our show. Obviously, your proactive interest in my show is there for a reason, and we all know damn well why. It's not because we need you to tell us how dumb we are with an award ceremony. It's because we, the royal we being your audience, need you to address the elevation angle argument that we've been putting down for about last year with the sextant. So that's what your expectation level's going to be from your audience. I don't know if you're going to ever be able to fulfill that, but your interest is definitely high in terms of what we're putting down at the moment, isn't it? You're all here, watching.
Well, the best rebuttal he's been able to come up with to this point is to say...
say daddy?
What John has gone...
Sorry. Hold on. I'm just going to say the best rebuttal they've been able to come up with to this point is, well, after we use the flat Earth angle measurements, we can prove it's not flat.
That's correct.
Yeah, I think a way of phrasing what you're trying to say, Nathan, is both sides don't have an argument in this argument. One side has an argument, the other side doesn't have an argument, because you can't argue against it.
And if the other side has an argument, well, then their argument's with reality. That's the problem. People are actually doing this in reality. So you're either going to have to change reality or you're just going to have to fess up.
Or accept it.
You have already. Exactly.
You can't change reality. You're just going to have to accept it. Celestial navigation proves the Earth is flat. And with that, I'm going to say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. A huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of you who smashed the super chat, liked, commented, shared, subscribed, joined as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member, smashed the PayPal link, and all that good stuff. Another massive thank you to today's Discord and G+ panels for making today's live show possible. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on either premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you all in the next video.
Happy day.